would be so horned up if we had a thunderstorm right now.
I almost did a spit take with that. All I heard from that was horned up. What did you say?
What?
I said I would be so horned up if we had a thunderstorm right now.
Oh, that would be fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. It would be cool.
Like, this is like my while I hate being sweaty and I hate being overtly hot, thunderstorm season is
apparently
like when you feel it in the air, the hot.
It's not my favorite, but
I did check the weather earlier today, and apparently all week starting tomorrow it's going to be either raining or thunderstorming.
I'm going to be
Remember that line from Norbit? And she's like,
No.
yeah, it has been raining a lot. Talking about the car shrinking. It's been raining a lot. I feel like it has been raining a lot. I feel like it's been very, fucking
We
London.
need it, though. I feel like we had such like a dry spring.
Are you thirsty?
No.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back.
This thing is on.
We are back
We're
after a
so back, everybody.
After a little hiatus.
Yes.
We didn't forget about you.
We did not.
It's just life.
Yeah.
Life things.
High anus.
High anus.
I had high anus problems.
An anus to the high heavens.
Many shenanigans and many mishaps happened.
And a cat death.
Yeah.
I was at the protests. That's where I've been.
Good.
I was in the trenches.
Good.
I was cosplaying as one of the chuds. When people would walk over me, I'd grab their ankle and be like, "I'm just kidding." And I got arrested, and then they got to bail me out.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the whole cat thing of it all because it's still like I talked about it on How Very. If anyone actually gives a shit, go listen to that episode. It's called Clint Howard Fan Club. And
Clint Howard.
I have a whole thing about him in the show where I want people for my birthday, if you guys really love me, for my birthday, my one request was for people to make Clint Howard fan fiction and or smut with me and Clint Howard.
Oh,
And
I thought you wanted like a cameo.
No, and I will read it on the podcast in its entirety.
Oh, God.
I just think it would just make me
guys,
laugh.
if you're listening, if you haven't started writing yet, you need to make one where he's the ice cream man.
Oh my God, please.
And
listen,
he lures her in with a strawberry shortcake pop.
If it's this
fudgesicle.
show, between the three hosts, you could pick who you want to have an encounter or an adventure with Mr. Clint Howard. If it's for How Very, your options are kind of limited to either me or Holly, or me and Holly, if you're a pig. And
guinea pig.
Enough.
All right.
Too soon, sir.
Yeah, listen.
Too soon.
That's crazy.
You guys gotta join the Patreon or whatever the fuck to hear guinea pig stories.
I was scrolling TikTok before I left my house to come here, and how this popped up, I have no idea. It was a lady who goes, "Oh, well, you do have to clean it," and I was like, "What is she talking about?" And it's a guinea pig dick, and she's listen.
That sentence is wild.
She like pulls the skin back and cleans the area.
All right.
It was cheese.
Of course there was.
There was Fermunda cheese from a guinea pig.
Gouda.
Oh my God.
And then she's like,
check out my Gouda pig.
She's like, you also have to clean its. She didn't say butthole. She said there was another word. And it wasn't like a fancy word. It was like his his bucket,
proboscis.
not his bucket or his basket or something like that. Okay, I don't know.
Dude.
But she like turns it inside out, and it was. But of course, I watched the whole thing because I can't help myself.
Well, it's Animal Planet.
That's
I know, but I'm like, oh my God, my eyeballs.
That's like the horse hoof cleaning videos will pop up on my For You page.
Ooh.
And especially when they have like a fucking abscess and they file to that point and it all just pours out. It's like, bro.
That looks so painful.
Oh gosh.
They say it's not though. They say it doesn't hurt.
The relief is probably beyond the pain.
That's what they say. They say the
so
relief.
they can't feel it, but when it gets like an abscess where it's like a pus pocket and everything, they just feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Like their hooves are made out of like what our hair and nails are made out of, so it's keratin. So they don't feel it unless they're actively getting to the point where their skin meets the keratin, then they'll feel that, but they'd never go that far.
Yeah, clipping your toenails versus
it's
ripping
just
them off.
super uncomfortable if there's a rock embedded up in there or something.
I'm sure they feel the pressure of the files and everything, but it's not painful.
I would rather watch the hoof cleaning thing and the shaving of it than antlers being sliced, That makes my skin
Antlers.
Antlers being sliced. I'm telling
I've
you.
never seen that or heard of that.
It is bad. And also, like when a cow or anything has like an abscess on its skin, and they have to
pop, you fucking put a straw in that. Do a nice little strawberry milkshake.
Okay, I'm done.
You done? Did I
done.
ruin it?
Goodbye.
Guys, I hope you guys are finished with your In-N-Out burger on the road.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're eating. Your
Bet you're
Roy
really
Rogers.
regretting.
Oh my god, I
right
saw this video of this little girl and her mom and her are at the zoo, and they like come across this cow, and the girl just points to the cow and goes, "The burger."
Oh, I've seen that. I want cheese on mine.
Yeah, she's like, the mom's like, "No, that's not what we call them, not yet at least." And then the girl just goes like, "Cheese on mine."
Crazy.
Yeah, if you watch Yellow Jackets, that's like a baby Shauna.
Yeah.
Burger's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Ooh. So anyway, how have you guys been?
Pretty good. Pretty
I've been
good.
slamming.
Yeah.
Working on my fucking
Working like
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Working like a
Dog.
dog.
A dog.
I was gonna say a guinea pig.
Don't.
I was working like a guinea pig.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What's been happening? Well, I mean, I don't really ingest true crime stuff. What has
This is
happened?
true.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of shit's probably happened.
There's been a bunch.
I did actually listen to a podcast last night while I was in the shower, and it's about this girl who went missing in the Vatican, and like they couldn't find her. Like her brother was out there like being like the like Kickstarter of the investigation and all that. Turns out this poor girl is buried within the walls of the Vatican Church, and they can't exhume her because of like inside work and all this shit.
Is she still there?
Yeah.
Was he like a contractor?
And like
poured concrete?
her like brother knows that she's like still buried there, and
Like Stir of Echoes.
they can't get her out
Kevin Bacon with the pickaxe in the
because
basement.
this missing persons case got so like in the like public eye that the Pope at the time did something that was like very like unorthodox for popes to do, and it was like he actively put himself in the center of the investigation. Like he was
lot of people
talking,
insert
What, he
themselves.
pick up a fucking magnifying glass?
No, he was just like talking to people.
Stephen McDaniel.
And, yeah.
They
like,
insert themselves in.
he was talking about, and he wasn't the one who did it. Like they don't know who did it.
Right.
But
Well, then we don't know if he's not the one who did it.
yeah. But there's
Maybe
this
he's just
guy.
very helpful then.
But he literally set up like phone calls with the guy that was being like, "Oh, we have her," and everything. Because
Not to be a dick, but
Yeah.
that was PR.
I don't know.
It's not good. It doesn't look good.
I don't know.
For the whole
But
thing.
as far as
But-
current things
Mhm.
going on, there might be some new information or some things with John Bonet's case.
Yes.
More stuff?
More stuff. They finally did they did some DNA testing of some things that were never tested before, and also things that were tested but with the newer technology and all that. And so who knows?
Just speculation, of course.
Speculation. Part of me feels like it'll never be solved.
Yeah.
Was anyone even around still to face litigation? Are people still alive?
I don't know.
Something happened? No?
Not all of them, no.
No.
But
I remember a couple people passing from that family, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, like
Let's see.
2013 or something like that.
Lori Vallow, her trial, that's the big one is done, but she was just found guilty again for she tried to have another relative killed or some shit.
Jesus.
In this same case, or is it a separate case?
Kind of all a little bit separate, like,
Yeah.
but she's just done a lot of shit.
Not John.
I don't follow her case a whole bunch. I don't, because something about crazy people like that are like
She just makes
who
me
try to
like-
hide behind religion and bullshit just
Yeah.
to be a sociopath.
As opposed to totally sane people. Like
I don't
Eileen
really
Wuornos.
follow like the Lori
Hey.
I
Vallow.
love her.
Eileen Wuornos was also a victim of
Of
circumstances.
course, and, you know,
Which her case, yeah, there's a kid walking around who is Eileen Wuornos' kid, and they
I thought
don't
you meant
know.
outside. I was about to lose my
Yes.
mind. I was like, what do you mean
Yes.
there's a kid outside?
She had a baby and put him up for adoption when she was like 14 or 15, like something.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Wasn't it like her and her grandfather that like had the kid or something. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Her grandfather was sexually assaulting her.
Yeah, so basically her parents like died or something.
I
like
think.
they
Like her and her brother.
They weren't like around in their lives, so they got like shipped off to go live with their grandparents, and like the grandfather was like violently sexually abusive with Eileen. And that was her life.
And then once she had the baby and gave it for adoption, she turned to like sex work and anything just to get some money just to kind of get out of her situation.
Yeah. Especially with, she's all fucked up. So probably hard to keep a job.
Yeah.
With that kind of experiences.
But anyway.
In other news.
Let's lighten it up a bit. So, what have you guys been watching?
I watched Companion. Like
last
week. Yeah.
I made my daughter watch it.
So fucking good. It's a very much like a good for her story. Yeah. But I love it so much. It's so cool. Like
I didn't watch that.
I love Sophie Thatcher. Like she's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see the movie, but that's got what's his name in it?
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Yes.
Huey.
How tall is he?
I have no idea.
He was stretched in Photoshop. Like they unclicked keep ratio. I have nothing against him. I like him in The Boys. I love Huey.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Huey.
I bet you he's like 5'10".
Really?
Yeah.
He's my height? I'm not.
Yeah.
I fucking wish I was 5'10", right?
Yeah.
Oi, Huey.
Oi, Huey.
Homelander done killed my wife and took my kid.
When is that coming out? When is that new season fucking coming out?
I don't know.
I'm getting,
I don't
all these
know.
shows dragging their feet. The fucking Stranger Things.
I don't even Stranger Things. Like I said, I'm rooting for the Demogorgon now. Like
literally though.
They've waited so long that they better have had like a major time jump because these kids are like almost 30.
Yeah, and I hope like at least one of them has like a tattoo by now because they're because the worst part is like
I don't give a shit about these kids anymore.
I really don't care anymore.
Like I don't. Like
I 30 and like they still have them wearing like the kid shorts and they're still riding a bike. None of them have a car yet.
No.
It's insane. It's like dude, seriously. He's got scruff on his chin and he's riding a bike like he's a fucking paperboy. It's just it doesn't work, dude.
No.
But that's what sucks about fucking
because like that's like the problem with shows too nowadays because you used to get like a 20 episode season and they would make like 2 of them, and if the first season did good then you had the second season backlogged and it would be released within the year. But now it's just like we wait 7 years for an 8 episode season and every single episode is mediocre.
Yeah, it's just
like
so to make myself happy again or to try to boost my spirits, the last like few nights I have been playing Roblox with my daughters.
That's very valid.
We've been playing Dress to Impress, where it's like a fashion thing, and because I am so terrible at video games, I am yelling the entire time, like in there. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, get away! Where is this? Where is it? Like, I'm
yelling at people,
and my looks are all so ugly just because I don't know I can't figure it out. But
you don't know fashion.
To see my kids,
you should see how she's dressed right now. You puke in your fucking gumbo.
Oh my god!
You piece of shit.
I'm kidding.
But to see my kids like hysterically laughing and just I haven't laughed that hard in a long time, so it felt nice. It's really done a wonder for me.
You got to hear Rib of Wonder Time fame. You got to hear Rib play Call of Duty. It's some of the best shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
When he's doing like Cletus, like his country voice, and he's like playing music and just being a dickhead.
Yeah.
But Rib, he gets pissed. He gets heated.
I just talk
like Gary Busey, and I'm like, no.
I'm not like a big gamer.
No.
Roblox is fun. Have you ever played it?
I have.
Because it's like a sandbox.
You're asking the Gen Z kid if she's ever played Roblox.
Yeah, it's almost like a sandbox where you can play any game inside of it.
Like the game I play the most nowadays is like The Sims, and I say really random shit too. I'm like, can you stop playing the violin and take care of your kid before CPS takes him away? It's just.
She likes to go home and after work and play God.
She does.
I do.
I mean, who doesn't, right?
Yeah. I also.
If I get tired of a family, I just lock them in a 4x4 without a door, and I just let them starve to death.
You let the sinks overflow,
and
you just fucking turn the water on.
I've also been watching Mad TV clips of Stuart.
Oh, look what I can do.
Yeah. I was just like, I need something simple that I'm...
What that?
Stuart?
I don't know.
Bro.
Stuart, honey, it's Mama.
Stuart.
I'll show you videos
Like
after.
when his dad like, kicks him out of the car because he was fogging the windows up with his bare feet.
It's a skit like a recurring skit that they did, and
it was Michael McDonald's character, not the singer, but he was on Mad TV, and he was the one. He was one of the two guys. I think it was like the gay couple.
Oh, is Mad TV the one with like the mascot and it's like the redheaded boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember watching like bits and pieces of that when I was little.
Yeah, the
like,
Mad TV was the shit, and Mad Magazine was also sick. Mad Magazine. But yeah, that show was hilarious, and I never really watched SNL growing up. I watched In Living Color and Mad TV.
No, yeah, because wasn't that like hosted on like Adult Swim or something?
No, I don't even know what that one was on.
Holy shit!
Mad TV. Oh no, it might have been Comedy Central. It was Comedy Central. I don't think it was Adult Swim. It might have been before Adult Swim, around the same time. But yeah, it was.
I remember like staying up too late on Cartoon Network and then getting like traumatized by the Adult Swim bumper that they put in between Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
I won't play it because again, copyright, but I won't play it. But he plays a character that's like a little boy.
Oh, okay.
And his mom is. Oh,
why does it look like Dr. Phil there, bro?
Because is
he Dr. Phil?
No. I don't know.
Did Mad TV ever really have like celebrity guests on? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
But I'll tell you what, a lot of underrated people come from that.
It's so funny, yeah.
Like Will Sasso. Will Sasso is amazing. Shout out to Will Sasso.
I'll show you later.
Is it like kind of like a Fred thing?
Is this Fred?
It's like a weird man-child character. It's just like a sketch comedy character that they would like a reoccurring bit.
Oh my God, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, Fred was Kyle. Was it Kevin?
It was Kevin.
The bully.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the guy who played the bully.
Is Fred playing like a child?
I mean, he would pitch his voice up on YouTube.
It was
so he like a chipmunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Hey, it's Fred.
Yes.
Like, hey, everybody.
My siblings they liked that.
We got to get a modulator because I could have just did a whole Fred bit about, burying a body in a willow tree.
Oh, yes.
But I got to look into that. That's some creepy ass shit.
Yeah.
That's
who put Bella in the witch elm?
See, and I look inside logs often.
Have you ever found anything?
Like mushrooms and stuff. Yeah. But I realize now that it sounds like I am a poop inspector.
Well,
Piper found a dead body when she was a kid.
No,
I
didn't.
Yeah, she
Where?
did.
So my mom listens to the show and she insists that I was just a drunk guy, but no, mom. It was not a drunk guy. It was a dead man.
I was gonna say, you see a drunk guy almost every day laying around.
So
I have pictures.
It was back when I lived in and
beep. Bleep.
Yeah. And our neighbor had lost her dog and it was like a summer day, so me and my mom and my siblings were all like, we have nothing to do. Like, let's go walk the woods and see if we can find this dog.
Leaves are blowing over the trail.
So we're walking and then we around the corner and there's an above ground sewer pipe.
Ooh, I love those.
Yeah. And
I like to see what's going on in my community.
And it was a big black tube.
Okay.
That was a sewage thing. And under it,
Did a guy with white hair come out?
No.
Like an it?
No.
Fucking dying of fright.
Under it, we see this black hoodie arm just draped over like this.
Is he looking for an offering? Is it a quest item?
His entire body was under it except for just the arm. Uh-huh. And we were like,
did you go hold its hand?
No. I
you
distinctly
him?
Did you give him an encouraging squeeze?
Dap?
I distinctly remember we weren't close enough to touch it, but we kind of knew that it was a dead guy.
Could you smell it?
Yeah.
And she's telling me it's just a stinky drunk guy
who's
pissed
if you
and shit his
smell
pants.
that
if
he's in a sewage pipe, are you sure that's not what you're smelling?
See, this is an interesting conundrum you're in. Is that guy dead,
or
is that the pipe?
Did you see his skin or anything? Did you see anything that gave...
His, hand is all we saw, and it was kind of like a tinge of blue. What
if he was a thief and he stole?
Did you guys call the police?
They inked him.
I don't know,
Is he still there?
I don't know. Like, I was like literally 6 years old, so like I don't know.
Piper's
He's still there.
Piper's mom. I have questions.
But I'm hoping my mom called the police for us. But and then my mom, God bless her, I love her, but this is a very questionable parenting choice, mother. But we got home that day, and out of all of the movies she had us watch Stand By Me.
Oh my God.
All right. See, that is like twisted sense of humor, but also hilarious.
She was like, "Oh, we found a dead guy in the woods. Let's watch Stand By Me, a movie about kids who go find a dead body in the woods."
See,
what if she was like, let's see what they did?
or maybe she was like, "No, he definitely was dead," or she's just telling you like, "No, he wasn't," to make her.
Dude, what if she's like, "Fuck, I should have picked up a stick. I should have poked him with a stick. Damn it!"
And like every now and then, I just like think of that like core
I'm not gonna
memory
lie, that's
from
kind
my
of
childhood.
Iconic. That's iconic.
It was iconic looking back
and
at it.
Stand By Me is a fantastic movie.
It is a fantastic movie. I rewatched it like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Still holds up.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The pie eating contest.
Yeah. But it was just like questionable parenting choice, but also iconic.
Yeah, dude, that's.
You know what?
I mean, you sat there and watched it. You didn't go to your room.
It was very good. I was like little 6-year-old me was enamored by the concept of this movie.
It's not every day you find a body, so there's something about it. It's like, yeah, it's tragic, but it's also like, holy fuck, this is not what the fuck I thought today was gonna be like.
It was like she's like made us watch like 2 movies growing up, and it was Stand By Me and Titanic.
Titanic?
Yeah.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was that after a ferry ride?
No.
Was that after a fucking fishing trip?
She made while they were on a cruise. They're like, let's put on Titanic.
That would be crazy work.
Because
or Poseidon Adventure.
Do you think that's like a shield? Because like, what are the odds of your cruise ship going down while you're watching Titanic? That seems like plot armor to me, to watch that and be like, we're good. There's no way this is going to happen.
There's a guy that made like a real-time Titanic sinking like
YouTube thing. I've seen it.
Yeah, and it took the Titanic 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink.
It's a lot of shitters to flood.
Yeah.
Because did you see how they made the movie? They built like a fucking ship to sink that bitch.
Yeah.
And they had like a big ass like reservoir. It's incredible.
And the movie is actually
bring back hard work in movies.
And the movie is actually very similar to the way the ship broke in half in real life.
Well, yeah. They don't want to fucking botch it.
We've all seen.
It splits like a hot dog down the middle instead.
We've all seen. There's actually an exhibit in North Jersey I'm going to take the kids to this
I've been
summer.
to one of them at Liberty Science Center.
Correctamundo.
Cool.
It's there now. It's the artifact.
They have
artifacts.
They have leaf cutter ants. They're amazing.
I don't know what those are.
They're ants that cut leaves.
And then they eat holes?
No. They cut leaves. They cut leaves off trees, right?
Uh-huh.
And then sometimes the leaves are too heavy to climb and bring down the tree. So they jump and they use the leaf to like kind of slow their fall slightly.
Shut the fuck up.
So they don't break their legs. They bring these leaves underground and they build like these floors where they use it. They pretty much feed mycelium these decaying leaves, which in turn grows mushrooms. And then they farm the mushrooms when they're like micro budding.
Uh-huh.
So essentially, they farm mushrooms.
Ants
They're
are
fucking
so
amazing.
smart and
they're so cool.
Yeah.
Ants are so
weird. Where are
weird.
those like locally? Like where do they live?
Leaf cutter ants?
Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be like South America, like tropical regions, probably Costa Rica.
Oh,
like that.
There's like an
or
ant.
Like I don't know, Philippines maybe. I don't know, somewhere south.
There's an ant, and like his entire job is literally just being the door to the fucking anthill.
The big-headed ants.
Yeah, it's just like
ants.
their heads are like kind of like the size of a quarter.
They are the whole
And
doors.
Do you think that are they born just to have that role, or is it like they just kind of wait and see which kid has the biggest noggin?
I feel like there's going to be some guys that have come out of the woodwork that listens to this show, and it's going to be like Mr. Ant, which I'm excited by because I like ants and I would like to know. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Chris loves insects.
Bugs are the shit.
Yeah.
But the big-headed ants, I'm pretty sure in that colony there are like 7 different types of ants that live all governed by the queen, but they all have purposes. Like there's like nurses, there's like sprinter ants that are like just they're the ones that go far out. There's the big-headed ants that are used kind of like as just blocking the hole and being like the first line of defense, or maybe last line of defense. But they're cool as fuck, man. And they're just a really diverse ant colony where all the ants kind of look different, but they all live together.
Oh,
It's sick, bruh.
That is.
I don't know what type of bug it was,
was
but
a
I was
Mothman.
but I was out walking Honor last night, and I was like just picking up her poop because I have to.
It's a poop beetle.
But
a dung beetle.
but
Dung.
a stink bug.
A stink bug.
But-
stink bug.
but there
what I
was
said.
like there
All
was
these
like
stick.
there was
Where's
like a
the
little like beetle just like crawling around on a blade of grass like next to it. It was like brown. It was like a brownish orange, and it was just like crawling around. It had like something like on its belly, but it was just like
Interesting.
he was just crawling
Was
around.
it brood? You think it was like a
Oh,
mother?
I know what you're talking about.
What is it?
Those are. Is that a June bug?
I think
No,
it
those
was,
fuckers. Oh, it could be like a juvenile June bug because those things get
see.
big.
I think it was something like that. It was probably like this big.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It didn't have like the leafy antenna.
No.
'Cause those things are cool.
But it was like the coolest looking
it's
thing
not a
ever. I
June
was
bug.
just like, oh hi. I was like, hello.
Is it any of these?
It looked most like that one or that one.
Like a dark brown?
Yeah.
Did I tell you my mushroom story when we fucking Rib had to piss and we were all on mushrooms? Not the driver. But when we pulled over on the side of the highway, we were going to a meadery. And we pulled over on the side of the highway so Rib could piss because he's dying laughing. I keep making him laugh. And we're all tripping mushrooms except the driver. And we go out in this like super deep brush. It was like the fucking, like Zimbabwe, the Sahara. And you can barely see over us. We're pissing. I get back in the car. I'm sitting in the middle. And I got my two buddies and Ribs in the passenger seat in the front. And I look at my shoes. And there's all these like rainbow beetle. And it was not because of the mushroom. I've never really seen something that wasn't there. Maybe a cloud looked like a woman or something. Because I've seen, like I've been on mushrooms and looked at the clouds, and you see a lot more shit. If you want to go cloud watching,
You make it. I've never done them, and I'm like afraid to.
they're amazing. There's nothing to be afraid. I mean, yeah, sure, you
Right.
could have a bad trip, but like all the bad. I mean, I've only had like one. It wasn't even a bad trip. It was.
I'm
more
naturally
so,
a very
it was, like,
anxious
introspective.
person. I'm a very anxious person,
Yeah.
like usually. So I think I'm a little too high strung for that to like enjoy it.
Well, like
No, yeah,
you
same.
got the rest of your life to make the decision.
We'll see. I'm a mother.
That is true.
I got
But bottom line
responsibilities.
is I look at my shoe and all my buddies, and I swear we went like yo at the same time. And for probably like 8 exits, we like just looked at these beetles on my shoe, and they just kind of hung around and crawled around a little bit. But it was so funny, dude. You had to have been there. It was insane. Like just seeing beetles all over my shoe, and they're just hanging out. They're not flying around the car.
We get a lot of like fireflies near where I live.
I feel like I don't see those anymore.
And they're so cool. Like it's just like because there's a woodsy part like by the community grass part in my neighborhood, and I just see them like all like twinkling in the tree line, and I'm like, y'all are so cool. I'm like,
is that the USA's
fun.
only?
Like-
Is there any other bioluminescent animals in the United States? I mean,
Wait,
maybe
fireflies?
like, yeah, like other like animals that
Lightning bugs?
glow.
yeah,
Same
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 yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I always called them lightning bugs. They sound cooler.
Yeah.
What is firefly?
I used to
Fuck
collect
that.
them in like a coffee can with like poke the holes in it,
And you shake it up.
and then like they would just be dead. Like
they would-
after
They
I
don't-
can't.
they don't
Yeah,
like
I'm like
coffee.
come here. Let me put you in captivity
Yeah, and forget
And-
about you on the shelf.
in harsh environments, like a jar
Yeah,
with
like
nothing.
a tin can that just is cold.
Yeah.
Honor tried to eat a butterfly today. I was very upset.
So now when I smell the inside of an empty coffee can, because it always has that hint of coffee smell,
Yeah,
it reminds me of being a child and collecting.
that's pretty psycho.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
a little bit.
no.
It's okay. But yeah, enough about bugs.
Yeah.
I think it's time to get into the topic of tonight's episode,
Yes.
which is medieval torture.
Oh god,
Yes.
I know a little bit about this.
Yes,
In practice.
Yes. With your perversion rack.
In my perversion rack, I sleep in a fucking keg full of water and honey
Yeah.
with only my neck exposed to my head.
Mead.
Ooh.
You know about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get into that.
No, I don't know. No, I don't think that's in this list. And you know what? You could tell us about it after the list.
I will.
So
I
put
got 2 good ones that might not be on the list.
put a little pin in that.
I will. Ow.
Yeah. There you go. All right, we are going to be reading the most horrific types of medieval torture on Ranker by Giselle Edwards. And it goes, this list of gross torture methods used in medieval times proves how these medieval torture devices were some of the most sadistic machines in history. Using devices like the Judas cradle, pair of anguish, and Spanish donkey, torture inflicted anguish on convicts, hostages, and disagreeable folks. History books call them horrific forms of torture, and most people wouldn't wish these sorts of treatments on their worst enemies. Read through the list of horrifying types of medieval punishment and be thankful that you were born a couple centuries after their presence.
Ooh,
Yeah, I had a reaction too.
the breast ripper.
Oh, leave those alone.
Ugh. As you may have assumed from its name, torturers use the breast ripper primarily to inflict pain upon women. The claws were often heated up before being attached to the victim's exposed breasts. Women were strapped to a table or wall while a torturer pulled the device away. There was a similar device called the iron spider that was attached to walls and worked the same way with the woman pulled away from the wall. If the victim wasn't killed, she would be left mutilated for life. The treatment
Oh
was...
my god,
This treatment...
What did she do?
Well, she'll tell you.
This treatment was a punishment for accused adulterers, unwed mothers, witches, and heretics.
Ow.
I'm not gonna say.
Owie!
That's crazy.
Like, ouchie!
The iron spider.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
No.
God, dude.
Ugh.
Imagine being sentenced to that. Sentenced to iron spider.
I'd rather them not tell me what I'm gonna be
Dude.
sentenced to, because no thank you.
Like, my boobs hurt now.
Why
Yeah.
can't you just give me like a casino ending and just bury me in a fucking cornfield? Let's call
Well,
it a day. Just hit
it
me
was
with a
kind of
fucking
rough.
slugger.
It was rough for him too. I would say that death.
Yeah.
None of it's great. None.
Well, everything he saw before that.
Yeah. All right. Next up is flaying.
Okay, I think I know what this is.
Thought-
When you cut a, you cut a fish.
Yes. Thought to have originated with the
Assyrians.
Assyrians. Flaying broadly describes an ancient technique that was most popular in various Middle Eastern and African regions roughly 1,000 years ago. In the Middle Ages, it was frequently used to torture and execute criminals, captured soldiers, and those accused of witchcraft. Usually, the victim was tied to a pole in a public square or a high-traffic area of the community. Using a small knife, the torturer would methodically remove strips of the tortured skin, peeling back sections to reveal musculature underneath.
Ugh.
This slow process often began at the victim's face and proceeded down towards their feet. Many victims died from shock or blood loss before the torturer reached their hips. In some cases, the remaining skin was then publicly displayed as a warning against breaking the law or witchcraft.
You bet your ass I'm on my best behavior.
Yeah, that's
There is no way, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, assuming it's that easy to not commit crimes back then. If, assuming you're hungry.
yeah, but the first one that she said, where it was like for unwed mothers and stuff like that,
she was a hool.
like make an honest woman out of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the fuck?
That was their way of, I guess, doing that.
How dare a woman have sex?
Yeah.
For real.
It's crazy. I mean, and I thank fuck.
Women can't have hobbies.
Because, yeah,
No,
you shouldn't cheat on your spouse, but also I don't think you should have your tits ripped off by a fucking arachnid.
Mm-mm.
Made of
Yeah,
iron.
that's crazy work.
That's crazy.
Wait, what do you mean iron spider? I don't like bugs. 6 legs, 8, nope. 8 legs, nope. There's about, what is it, 6, 8, and then 1,000. That's about it. There's 3.
That's pretty much what it is, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's fucking, I guess
There's-
mantises, I guess.
there's, like-
they walk on what? How many legs?
2. Well,
They
they
walk on
kind
4
of like.
legs? They walk on 4 legs, but they have the arms? Am I
praying
tripping?
mantises?
Yeah.
I want to say it's like just back legs.
Mm-hmm.
But do they have like 4 back legs, right?
Like it's almost like a T-Rex.
No, they don't have like 2.
Because I feel like the front ones have
No, they have 4
4 in the back, 2 in
and
the
then
front.
and then the
The little...
the little claws.
the little handies.
Those things are fucking insane.
Like the crab claw things.
They're so cool.
You ever see the
know.
wasp mantis that looks exactly like a wasp?
No.
And it uses it as camouflage? Because it doesn't really have a stinger, but things typically stay away from wasps. It looks just like a fucking wasp. It even tucks its like
like a transformer.
It's
like a bug
amazing.
transformer.
It's amazing.
Mm.
And there's also, I found out there's like only 5 types of bugs that live in the middle of the ocean.
Ooh.
And they're called halibates. They're called sea striders. You might have seen them like on ponds and stuff. You know how like there's some bugs that live on the surface tension of water, but in terms of the ocean, that live exclusively out in the middle of the ocean and feed on like fish eggs and debris that floats to the top. Dead fish. they're called halibates.
Dead bodies.
And they fucking just walk around the sea. In these crazy swells, they live. They don't, and if they go under the water, I mean, they're fucked. They can't swim. But they can walk on top. They call it the ocean bug that never gets wet.
I'm kidding.
It's fucking nuts. I know, there's a lot of bugs in this episode.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is the Judas Cradle. Reaching the peak of its popularity during the Spanish Inquisition of the 1600s, this was also known as the Judas chair or the gilded cradle. The Judas cradle was a torture device where the victim would be placed on top of a wooden pyramid with a triangular end inserted in the victim's anus or vagina. Arms and feet were tied or weighted in order to ensure maximum pain as gravity slowly pulled the victim downward. More often than not, the Judas cradle was used to extract confessions or specific information from victims, so the addition of weights could increase the horror. Depending on the rate of the pyramid sitter's progress, this torture could last anywhere from a few hours to a full day. While the torture was not usually intended to be fatal, it often was. Since the device was never cleaned, survivors experienced a high incidence of infection, which was effectively a death sentence in the centuries before antibiotics.
All right, if you even threaten my butthole or something, I will confess immediately. I will tell
That's-
you
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
That is like there you can't there's no out for that. Like you're not giving like anybody's gonna confess to anything. And you think the reason why they didn't clean it is because two guards kept arguing whether or not you're supposed to use soap on cast iron. And it was like it's like a pan.
Like, no, it's seasoned.
He's like, you're gonna ruin. You're gonna take the seasoning off. He's like, we bought it seasoned. Is it even a real season? What's a factory season? It's not a real season. He's like, it's practically not even seasoned. And he's like, you're not seasoned. And then they said, season him.
You're not
Yeah.
seasoned.
Oh boy.
I wish I was a Knight's Guard. I'd be a dickhead.
You would be great.
I'd be such a dickhead.
You would be like
The bouncer-
dishonorably
the bouncer on a
discharged.
horse.
Oh man.
No, I'd be honorably discharged.
Oh. Possibly. All right.
Also, don't say discharge after what you.
I don't like that word.
What's wrong with it? What about charge? Like Charles in.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. The next one is the brazen bull. Possibly the most imaginative means of sadistic torment, the brazen bull unleashed a pain on victims in ancient Greece. The tyrant Phalaris allegedly commissioned this torture device to exercise his sadistic streak. Victims were sealed inside the gleaming bull and slowly burned to death. A series of pipes on the inside made it sound as if the victim's wailing and thrashing were the sound of an actual bull, giving this torture implement a decidedly macabre streak. Even though this torture was not used commonly during the Middle Ages compared to its reputation in the Greek and Roman eras, it was allegedly still used in Central Europe. This torture was similar to being boiled alive, just without the water.
That's like that one time I put Easy Mac in the microwave without water.
Yeah,
You would not believe your fucking nose.
I bet.
It was like I don't even know like a phosphorus attack
How do
on
you
my
forget
fucking house.
that? How do you forget the water?
Dude, because I remember smoke filling my kitchen. I open it up, there was like a deflated pile of Easy Mac with macaroni and like black soot and like a little
That's
flame.
not how you make shrinky dinks.
I love stringy dings.
That's
Those are
like-
fun,
I have
bro.
sheets of those.
That's
You really?
like
I do.
That's like the abandoned building video I watched today. They were like exploring LA's like general hospital that was left abandoned, and they went in the room and they turned on an air conditioning unit, and it was just like dust,
Oh.
just like expelled from the
I'll
AC
send
unit.
you the video of the people exploring the hospital I was born in. It's abandoned, and it's on top of a
I wanna
hill
watch it.
in
I
upstate
love-
New York.
Was it abandoned when you were born?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes,
My mom's like, there's nothing else. Let's go.
She was tagging up. She was tagging there, and she's like,
I
oh.
was delivered by ghost doctors and ghost nurses and put in a little haunted dark nursery.
Oh,
fucking
it was
scary.
freaky, this video too, because like you know where they have the clock and it was just like the like screen where it's like, oh, this room needs attention. It was like permanently stuck on room 41 needs attention. And it was like, ah! I was like, no.
What happened?
Like,
I'd be getting EVPs in that room.
yeah. But the next one is called the crocodile tube.
Dun, 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 dun. I was doing Crocodile Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what is that? That sounds familiar. Also, fucking that I've never heard of this one. This does not sound familiar to me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I don't think I know this one either.
A rare and slightly mysterious form of torture, the crocodile tube, is thought to have been used only occasionally to extract confessions from accused heretics. The victim was placed inside a spike-filled cylinder just big enough for their body, with a head and feet exposed on the other end. The tube was then shut, leaving the victim totally immobilized and impaled on the spikes. And that's not all. There was often a small fire burning just beneath the cylinder, gradually heating the tube until the torturer extracted a confession, or the victim died. The torturer could inflict all manner of unpleasantness on the victim's exposed face and feet, mutilating their head and toes in order to hurry the process along.
So you're like pretty much heating up and writhing around in pain in an inside-out cactus.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the bull if they put spikes inside.
Yeah.
When you're flailing, you're what is?
Yeah.
What is going?
It would not take a lot for me to break.
But imagine being the guy who designs this, and then you go home for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being like, honey, what are you working on down in the basement? And she loves it. That's why she married him.
She's like, oh.
She's like, and she sees all the money he's bringing in.
Yeah.
She's like, damn.
All right.
It's like, and she's like, oh, I want to go out shopping. How? And he's like, oh, how much? And she's like,
this
right?
much.
Yeah. Goodfellas, another Scorsese.
Oh, all right.
Karen.
When
she flushes all the shit.
Yeah. All right. Next one is impaling. Less a method of torture than a means of execution, impalement was typical of medieval punishment due to its simplicity. It was exactly what it sounds like. A large spike was inserted longitudinally, great, usually via the anus, and emerging around the chest, shoulders, neck, or head. Like so many tortures, impalement didn't originate in the Middle Ages. In fact, impalement was codified, as punishment in the Code of Hammurabi in 1772 BCE. Not Harambe or whatever that.
Oh no, wasn't Harambe?
Not
Not the
God rest
chimpanzee.
his soul.
Yeah. The medieval period did mark maybe the most notorious impalings, however, thanks to the aptly named Vlad the Impaler. Vlad III Dracula relied on impalement in order to keep Wallachia, his little corner. I'm probably butchering all of this. I don't like.
Yeah, it's Transylvanian.
All right, his little corner of 15th century Romania. It was in his battles against the Ottoman Empire that resulted in historical notoriety, though, as he's said to have impaled as many as 20,000 Ottoman Turks outside the city of Targovist.
Do you believe that though?
In order to dissuade the next wave from advancing. Well, he's the reason. Yeah, like he was. How did he inspire vampires though?
I mean, that's a good question.
I'm not.
The
I
castle.
never fully,
Okay, the castle's one thing.
Oh, he
vampires
like
aren't known to fucking impale.
he would like, I think he would like collect his victim's blood in like a chalice and then drink it. Like,
What do you want to not mess up his lawn?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a
I am
deeper
curious.
dive
yeah,
into that. So yeah,
we should just do an episode on him.
Maybe we
Like,
will.
Yeah.
Vlad the Impaler. And I've heard his name a million times,
Yeah.
but I don't know shit.
Him and Elizabeth Bathory.
ooh,
Yeah. The Blood Countess.
yes. Oh, she.
Yes.
Yes.
So the next one is called the Spanish donkey. Known colloquially.
Spaniard fly.
Hot Carl.
Sure.
Oh, come on. Caught your
I
sweater.
don't know.
Known colloquially, I think I said that right, as a wooden colloquially as a wooden horse or a chevalet. The Spanish donkey followed a similar principle as the Judas cradle, letting gravity do most of the work. Victims, almost always women. What the fuck did we do, bro? Were seated astride
They might be witches.
the apparatus. A vertical wood board with an inverted V-shaped wedge on top. Weights were then attached to their feet, placing all the combined pressure on that one sharp point to create a sensation like being split down the middle. While
That's what childbirth is.
yeah.
Yeah.
While there are accounts of this method being used on blasphemers during the Spanish Inquisition, the so-called Spanish donkey is a play on a familiar form, one that extended to the United States from the riding the rail punishments of the early colonial era to the mule, on which Confederate soldiers captured in the Civil War would ride until they lost consciousness.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
You know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. The heretic's fork. The heretic's fork was primarily used during the Spanish Inquisition. The instrument consisted of 2 forks set end to end and strapped around the victim's neck. The tines of the fork penetrated the flesh under the chin at one end and on the upper sternum on the other. With their hands behind their backs, victims was made to kneel or stand upright. This forced any liars or blasphemers subjected to the punishment to strain to keep their chin elevated. Obviously, sleeping, speaking, or even swallowing were impossible. As such, it's often speculated that the heretic's fork was just one part of the process, perhaps one used to silence a victim after obtaining a confession. In any case, this was not often a fatal torture, though the risk of infection was high.
The pear of anguish.
A lot of French words in that
Yeah.
one. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. For years, examples of the pear of anguish have been displayed in museums as examples of late medieval torture implements. In theory, this pear-shaped device would be inserted into a person's mouth, anus, or vagina. Then a screw would be turned, causing the separate leaves to expand outwards, causing enormous pain and distension.
It's like a shoehorn.
Or like, what are like those, like you put it in there.
A shoe and you turn a dial and it breaks the shoe in early.
Yeah, but like, yeah. Oof.
There are, however, no primary sources suggesting that this was ever the case, and there is no evidence of a pear of anguish even existing until the early 1600s, when, according to 1639's Inventaire General de History
des
Larones.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck.
Beautiful.
To our
I was
French
seriously,
listeners,
how long
I
is
am
his name?
so fucking sorry.
No, you're fine.
Thieves used similar mechanisms to gag victims. Historian Chris Bishop has largely discredited the notion that the pears of anguish that can be found in museums today were used for torture in the Middle Ages, but their actual use is mysterious. Bishop theorizes that what's now known as the pear of anguish could have a use as prosaic as shoe extenders or sock stretchers or glove wideners.
Look at that.
Mr. Poignant.
Look
they call
at
me.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I was so excited. I was like,
manifested it.
I was like really fiending for pears.
Yeah.
After the show, a post-show pear.
Were you?
I was,
Oh,
and now I'm not.
okay.
I'm gonna look at them differently.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that before.
Just
I've
think
seen
of
the
it.
diagrams.
Just think of it like up your butt and expanding.
That's. I don't care how sick I am. Not even a thermometer. Leave it. Let me die in the fucking street. And I was gonna say.
That's how they check the temperatures of dogs.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's all-
but
most
maybe,
animals.
I mean, yeah. Maybe they'll
That's
bite.
all. That's like all animals.
They'll
Yeah.
suck the mercury out of
Yeah.
the fucking thermometer if you try the mouth. I don't know.
Like,
Can you even do it with the ear? Probably do it with the ear.
No.
No.
No?
No.
I don't know.
That's-
There's got to be a better way. I feel like
No.
everyone's just kind of like, this is the easiest way. We're not gonna. Why fix it if it ain't
But
broke?
anywho, that is our list of tortures. What were the ones that you?
So before we close on that specifically, I was gonna say, Mr. Chris Bishop, he says it didn't exist. I mean, didn't everything fucking else exist? Like, seriously, is it that far out of the realm of possibility that there was a pair you?
And they
'cause
clearly
I
had
was-
like a thing for sticking things in buttholes.
I was gonna say
and-
about
Yeah.
6 things on this list were, anus or oral or the anus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys were like deeply religious too, and they're
I
like,
don't know.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Well, they weren't very religious. A lot of them cheated on their wives and everything, but that's neither here nor
the
there.
pitchfork thing though.
Yeah.
The heretics fork.
I've heard of something
Yeah.
like that where it's, I don't know what it is. It's like it was like a nail or something that people, I don't know.
It,
It was like a double-sided
like, we
fork that would
didn't-
go under the chin.
we
right
didn't
up under
talk
the
about-
chin.
I know what you're talking about. It was to ensure good posture for like
women and like men that were like
Slouchers.
Yeah, imagine
Yeah.
how torture becomes like a way to fix your neck.
Yeah, they're just trying to help you.
Or even like the stretching. I mean, like the whole neck, the fucking ring dingers. You know what I'm talking about? Like
that
the neck
stretching
fold.
rack, like that would probably feel great for about like a second.
know.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, stop
There's-
it.
Yeah,
They're like,
you
stop.
you get past the point.
And then like, what is the one like they tie ropes to your limbs and have
Hindquartered?
horses run in different directions?
Yeah, hindquartered.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of different
Horses
ways
are fucking
to
strong, dude. They
like
will rip
torture
your shit
methods
off.
from back then.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your favorite is, please be sure to let us know
Yeah,
on
guys.
Twitter.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have we been going?
51.
Okay.
And I was gonna say there was 2 torture methods that weren't on the list that I've heard of.
Ooh.
Right? So one of them, if I'm not mistaken, it's called scaphism. And
Okay.
it's when they would pretty much take a person, I guess they'd be guilty of something.
Mm-hmm.
I might be butchering the name of the torture, but they would put them in a barrel, right? Only their head exposed. Like, you know, they put their head through like the stocks or whatever, and then they put them in a barrel, and they have to pretty much sit in their own water, and the water's like full of honey, and you know, they're fed like really soft foods, if not just like honey and milk to keep them alive, obviously to prolong the torture.
Mm-hmm.
And they would pass into the water they're in, and they'd be kind of hanging out in this, and then flies would start to land on your face, and you can't swat them off your face, so they're staying.
Nope.
And that's crazy.
I'd cry.
And then eventually you die from like septic shock, or you know, you just fucking, I don't even know.
See, even if like a fly just kept landing on my face and I can't slap it away, like that would be enough to drive me fucking
It's like the
crazy.
drip torture. It's like
Or
the drip
someone
torture
that's
shit.
like sits and he's just like a
A mouth breather, yeah.
Someone who like eats too loud or with their mouth open. Like, all those things get on my
drive you
nerves.
fucking nuts.
Someone, yeah.
There was one other torture that I heard about, and this is actually courtesy of George Carlin. And I hope this is real, but I also don't, because that's fucking psychotic.
We won't look it up, but we're not gonna know.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll look it up. But so the torture was they would throw you in a bag with a dog, a monkey, and a snake, and tie you up in the bag, and then they would throw the bag in a fucking river. And everything was just biting and
How
panicking.
big is this bag?
That's what I asked. I was like, this has got to be a bit, but I was like, I can see. Think about it. It's the fucking medieval times. If they wanted to torture someone, they'd figure out a way. Why do you think they're forging ting 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 a pear to shove up someone's
All right,
ass? He's spending all
dog-
that
what
money.
did the dog do?
That's, I mean,
A monkey
and a
s-
fucking snake.
Yeah, well, like, why do we have to kill innocent creatures?
Lions and tigers and
What did
bears.
they
oh
do?
my.
Maybe they're on trial.
I don't know.
But I think George Carlin said, like, he's like, your first thought is like, I hope the monkey bites the dog and the dog bites the snake or something. Like the snake bites the monkey and the monkey bites the dog.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I'm not George Carlin, so my delivery was shit. But I can imagine that being a real torture.
I'm sure there's a lot of crazy ones that we don't.
It's fucking crazy. I mean, even nowadays.
Would you ever go to one of those museums that shows all like the medieval torture devices and whatnot?
I'm interested more so of like the weaponry, but not like the effects. As
same,
dumb as that can
same.
be. Like I don't want to see someone hacked in half, but like I do
No.
like video games where I can, you know, if I swing right, I can
There's
knock someone's head off. It's hilarious.
I can't handle like torture things and stuff. Like even like in movies when they're trying to torture information, I can't handle that.
Hostel was crazy. I saw that when it came out as a kid. with
Yeah,
my family.
no,
That
no,
was
no, no.
wild.
I've never seen it.
Well,
Okay.
like Revolutionary War, like the muskets, like the bullets, like it wouldn't, like, you wouldn't die from the gunshot. You would die from the septic shock that the gunshot caused, because
They didn't have Neosporin back then.
because I think the like bullet was made out of lead, and that's
Yeah,
not
probably.
good. So it would just like fester in the body. And
If it wasn't high enough caliber,
so
or like,
you wouldn't die from the bullet itself. You would just die from the infection that it gave you.
and plus they were probably round. They were probably round slugs, so I wouldn't assume there'd be a lot of like exit wounds. A lot of bullets would probably get embedded.
Yeah, they
and
were like
be
mini
there
cannonballs.
So wouldn't it like explode into like a bunch of little?
Yeah.
Sometimes it
Shrapnel.
depends. It
Stuff?
depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, lead is soft, so it might. Just
We got to go to Gettysburg.
We do.
We do.
But I think it would mushroom more so than it would shatter because it's not a hard metal. I think it would probably it would probably mushroom.
And Chris should probably take mushrooms before we go.
to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
I start talking to a musket. Start talking to a bayonet.
Uh,
No, but I would love to do mushrooms and walk around Gettysburg. But you know, it's.
I won't do that.
What is the?
I'll take an edible.
Like, not to sound like a hippie, but like, is it like a solemn place?
I'm sure it's
Yeah, that's
really
not. You don't want to do
somber.
mushrooms there.
No,
No.
but maybe
I
on your
mean-
own time. But for sure, that's like I want to go to that place like soon. Weather's getting nice, or it is nice now before it gets so fucking hot. Or
Would you guys play in a Civil War reenactment?
totally.
You know, I
We're
would.
women though. We're gonna have to play nurses.
No, you can
Yeah.
do a Molly Pitcher. I don't think that was a Civil War, was it?
I don't know.
If I'm right, that's crazy.
I'll be the little like the.
You could be the narrator of the whole fight. Oh, you could be the drummer boy. You could be the drummer,
Yeah. Right.
and then Piper can play the cymbals.
Yeah. Right.
You two are the band, and then I'll be Colonel Mustard. What's his name? Colonel Custard? Colonel's Custard.
Colonel's custard.
I play the bowl of custard.
Colonel Sanders.
I play Colonel's bowl of custard
Yeah, beautiful.
that he eats after a long fight.
Yes.
Crazy work.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I quit, guys.
I quit too.
Yeah. me
I want to
too.
go home and I have ice cream sandwiches to eat and Roblox to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's Roblox. Have you ever played the game where you have to run through all the rooms and you have to you're getting chased by this monster?
I don't think so.
You have to run into like room to room and there's like multiple doors. You
I've
have to
seen,
pick
like,
the
my-
right one. It's
Oh,
it's
no.
crazy.
That sounds stressful.
It is stressful.
I've
never
seen my
played it, but I
cousin
watched my
play
sister
it.
play it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it's
to
wild.
play, I was playing extreme hide and seek. It's where you were like
You have a
this.
gun?
No, you're like the size of like a peanut in a giant room or outside
Oh,
or
so you're
wherever.
hiding behind the snow globe and shit?
You have
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
someone is the seeker, and you have to
Are they huge?
No, they're the same size as you.
Oh, I thought they were like
And, like,
huge.
No,
They're,
oh
like,
that'd be
trying to
funny.
Smash you and you're small.
It's really fun though. My daughter was like hiding
Roblox
on a
has all this
doorknob.
like
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Like Roblox has all this crazy shit nowadays. Like I remember when it was just in its infancy when I was little, and
Meep City.
like it was literally there was like a grodier version of Meep City, and it was called the Town of Robloxia, and it was like you spawn in, you get to pick an occupation, and then you got to role play as like a whole neighborhood.
yeah, but you
like-
love that shit. You're like, ooh, Sims.
Yeah, you got to
Oh.
but it was like grodier. It was like
Like what were they like?
like
I want to be the homeless guy with the bell that has like a sign that says the end is nigh.
like
Yeah.
you like they
The
had
end is nine.
like like they had like the whole stops. Like you could be a bus driver for the school, you could be a teacher, you could be a
Oh.
police officer, you could be like
Bus driver.
Do you ever play Roblox?
No.
like-
You would fucking love it, Chris.
Because I'm the master of making my own fun.
You would fucking love it. There's something to tickle you in every sense.
Yeah.
There's like a shark attack game where you're on a boat and you have to like kill the shark.
Oh
There-
shit.
There is a game literally where you're a pile of shit and you just are eating other piles of shit to be the biggest pile of shit. I swear to God.
like a
I
like,
get
There's-
to be a piece of
You
shit.
get to be a piece of shit. Oh my God! Stop. There's a karaoke game that we have voice chat enabler thing.
Yeah.
My daughters have it too. They got it back after I got them banned. But you sit and like other people can join and a song will pop up and you have to grab if you want to sing and you actually sing. They hear your voice and
That's
sing and you
amazing.
vote. You vote.
Oh my
So
god.
you know how many times I'm doing like an accent or a weird voice or something, and it's so.
oh
good.
there's
You're
there
like, Love
so
Shack baby.
there was
Love
this-
Shack baby.
If you see a faded sign at the side of
there
the
was this
road.
Have I
subreddit.
heard that? Did I shit?
All right. Well,
Oh God.
I think that's gonna do it for us.
Oh man.
If you would like to support this show, you can find us on buymeacoffee.com/coffeescream as well as patreon.com/coffeeandscream for bonus episodes and extra content. You can follow us on X at CScreamPod. That's C the letter Scream Pod. I am It's Just G.
We are on Instagram at Coffee and Scream Pod, and I am Piper A04. Chris?
Guys, Wondertime Theater, twitch.com/Wondertime Theater, kick.com/Wondertime Theater. The show about the movies. Rib, we didn't stream last week. Rib broke his coccyx in a cliff diving accident.
No, he didn't.
No.
I was gonna say.
You thought I was serious?
I swear to God. I was.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
anyway.
I mean, believe me, if he broke his coccyx, you'd be the first to know.
All right, I probably would.
I'd probably be
I would
second
get
to know.
I would get a really close selfie on Snapchat.
My coccyx.
He's like, my butt hurts.
My butt.
I
And he's got like a teardrop emoji.
I hurt my hiney.
My hiney. Tell me my hiney is
My
okay.
hiney bone.
My butthole.
My butthole.
Yeah, he's like, I fell on a pear. I fell on an iron pear.
Oh.
What was it called? What was that thing called?
Oh, the Judas Cradle. Wait.
I jumped off a Judas cradle into an Iron Maiden.
I accidentally jumped on a Judas cradle. And
I stepped on an iron spider and it bit me.
All right.
Okay.
Don't forget to like,
The
subscribe.
Spanish donkey yelled at me.
Yes. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a nice review. It really helps us out. It makes my day. Also, check out my other show, How Very. It is available on Spotify and Apple. All right. Well, until next time, guys, lock your doors and stay safe. Bye.
Bye. Fuck you.